Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Krampus is still here, as you can see. He's hanging out. And we have a pair of T movies as October continues to progress to its end. We have one classic horror movie, in my opinion, and one classic horror movie. So for the classic horror movie, we're going to begin with the first Troma movie I've ever selected. For those unfamiliar with Troma as a company, they do a lot of low budget, high camp, high entertainment value movies. Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD, The Toxic Avenger, which actually would have been my pick. I used to own a box set, but it has left my possession due to unforeseen circumstances and will be actually replaced because I found a great one. But for the time being, I present to you all the way back from 1999. Terror Firmer. You just look at that cover and get a gauge on just what you're kind of dealing with. There's a bum on there, so I'm going to turn him around. So, Terror Firmer. These movies, for the most part, directed by Lloyd Kaufman, who actually plays a director in this movie. Gist of it is egotistical blind director played by Lloyd Kaufman in New York City wanting to create the new great serial killer movie. Unbeknownst to him, an actual bomb-toting serial killer infiltrates the cast, begins to kill off everybody. Chaos and trauma ensues. There are some repeat names for Troma fans. Lemmy Kilmister, the great Lemmy from Motorhead, is in this. Trey Parker, Matt Stone have a cameo, and they actually got their start in Troma movies with Cannibal the Musical before they had went on to South Park fame. But it's one of those. It's a movie. It's it's entertaining, and that's the great thing about Troma. They are entertaining. They can be kind of gory, so do not let kids anywhere near it, but they can be entertaining. So now we're going to go back in time. We're actually going to go to a truly classic horror film. One of the beginning films, one of the Genesis films. It has spawned numerous sequels, numerous spin-offs. Some are okay, some just avoid. But I present to you all the way back from 1974. The original, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You can see that's the special edition one right there. And like I say, this is the movie that really started the... I would think probably started the horror, serial killer, slasher kind of thing. Directed by Tobe Hooper, who's had a long career in Hollywood. And stars... Marilyn Burns is I think the one person who survives, but Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre person, as it were, why do I always want to say Texas with chainsaw now? The chainsaw-wielding Leatherface. I completely forgot. John Larroquette is the narrator of this movie. Anyway, we have, the plot of it is, teens are on their way to visit the grave of their grandfather, investigate vandalism reports. You have Sally, played by Marilyn Burns. Her brother's in a wheelchair. So they go along on the way. They pick up a hitchhiker. He talks about his creepy slaughterhouse family. They kick him out. Try to get gas. And eventually end up at creepy hitchhiker's home. And they had to remove him from the car. And it basically turns into Murder House. I think it was loosely based off of some of the serial killers of the past. I think most notably Ed Gein. He was actually the inspiration for many other serial killer movies. Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock. Silence of the Lambs being another one. But this one, it's a classic. if you've never seen it, you've at least heard of it. So I would say give the Texas Chainsaw Massacre a good solid look. And actually, the one scene I will give a little trivia. There's the dinner scene in which Leatherface has to slice the thumb of one of the actresses. Well, they couldn't actually do it to make it look realistic, and they were on many, many takes, so the woman goes to Gunnar Hansen, and I think it was actually Marilyn Burns, went to Gunnar Hansen off camera and said, look, let's just do this properly. So he actually took the knife and actually cut her thumb with it, and I believe that is the cut they used in the film because they couldn't believe how realistic it looked. So there you go, little piece of free movie trivia. And I'm going to conclude my ramblings on the letter T, Terra Firma, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Krampus approved. We'll see about the rest of you. Thanks, everybody. Let me know down below what you think.